My name is Lonnie Ray Atkinson, and this is another installment of Unsafe Words. So here's a valuable experiment. The next time you're at a gathering of people, any gathering of people, ask everyone in the room to close their eyes and picture an economist. And then ask everyone to share what they saw. And then ignore everything that everyone just said. Because the point of the experiment is not to see what kind of stereotypical traits all their imaginary economists had in common. The point is that nobody pictured themselves. Think about that shit. A lot of us believe economics is some nerd shit, some PhD type shit. But let me tell you something. If you've ever lost your motherfucking job, you're an economist. If you've ever had to sweat how many days there was until your next paycheck, you're an economist. If you've ever stood in line to sell plasma after standing in line at the check cashing place, you are a goddamn economist. If you've ever had to contemplate turning tricks or weigh the pros and cons of selling dope, you're more of an economist than Milton Friedman ever was. Seriously, y'all, I don't give a fuck how many big words Alan Greenspan knows. That motherfucker ain't got shit on no single bomb. I know a lot of y'all watch these videos, and when I start going off about some radical economic shit, you start rolling your eyes. But if there's one thing you better pay attention to in any of these videos, it's this. Formal training or no formal training, your ass is an economist. And it's important that you acknowledge that shit because leaner times are a-coming. So fuck a bunch of micro this and macro that and fancy terminology and boring ass literature. All an economist is supposed to be is somebody who can look at an economic situation, figure out the reality of that situation, and then make predictions and or plans based on that reality. And if there's one economic reality you should already know, it's that the motherfuckers who run the show don't give a fuck about you. I said when a CEO making millions is telling employees they might want to eat out of the trash in the tough times ahead, you already know they don't give a fuck about you. I said when two of the most successful companies in American history give workers tips on applying for welfare, you already know they don't give a fuck about you. I said when a corporation fires an entire workforce just to let them reapply for half the money, sending the message that from now on seniority, or what used to be known as loyalty to the company, will no longer be acknowledged and or tolerated, you already know they don't give a fuck about you. And keep in mind, that was before they started designing for real fucking robots that can be flexibly trained just like you to do whatever fucking tasks that are needed, but yet cost $25,000 a piece and are guaranteed to work non-stop for 3 years. I'm talking no pension, no health insurance, no workers' comp, no nothing. Shit, you think they didn't give a fuck about you before? You bring a few million of the Scabtron 2000 to the market and your ass is going to look about as affordable as trying to hire Jay-Z to play your kid's birthday party. I'm telling y'all, these robot motherfuckers got workers in China shitting their pants. And remember, this comes after decades of job displacement due to automation already. Think about that shit. All these fools out here at marches and rallies talking about how they want to deport the immigrants. And not a one of them's holding a sign that says deport the robots. And here's the thing. I don't think we should deport the robots. I actually think we should embrace the robots and deport the system instead. Because whether you like it or not, the robots are coming. The robots are inevitable. It's the system that's not. Now I'm going to be doing a whole lot of videos on what it means to deport the system. But right now, I just want to get across the point that if you don't think you're an economist, your ass better think again. And you better start thinking about what that means. And honestly, all it really means is doing what we already do in our own families, in our own communities, but this time on a bigger scale, with even greater cooperation and even greater solidarity, and yes, greater power and greater democracy. Again, it's about looking at the reality of our situation, figuring out what we've got to work with, and then doing what we have to do. Just know we have to do it. Because it ain't immigrants coming for your shit, it's the system coming for your shit. And whether it's actual robots or corporate robots, they don't give a fuck about you. So you can believe all you want that you don't know how to swim in economic theory. The only thing that matters is our asses are getting ready to get thrown out into the water. And that shit ain't gonna be shallow. You don't need someone else to throw you a life jacket. You just need to find which direction your ass is paddling toward before you run out of steam and the current takes over. Because whether or not you like this cliched ass water analogy, you better learn the lesson. And the lesson is that your ass is an economist. And sink or swim, the current, or should I say the current system, don't give a fuck about you. If you dig what I'm doing and you would like to help me keep on doing it, you got two options. You can share this video with others and or click below the video to show me some love. Either one is greatly appreciated.